Our young South African scientist has made the country proud after winning a global groundbreaking award at the Falling Wall Science Summit held in Berlin. Wits University post-doctoral fellow Tamlyn Sasha Naidu was recognized for her presentation on breaking the wall of acid mine drainage. She joins us now for more. Very good evening to you. Congratulations. Thank you for making South Africa proud. How does it feel?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It feels a little bit surreal, if I'm honest. I witnessed a lot of groundbreaking research and technologies being presented, and obviously I believe in my own research, but the caliber of research that was on show during the Berlin Science Week, I felt very blessed and lucky indeed to have been named, the breakthrough technology breakthrough research of the year. So yeah, surreal and very excited.
So with this project and you being declared the winner, I understand you had 3 minutes to pitch this groundbreaking idea. What did this project essentially entail? Because you were trying to tackle mine-related water pollution and land loss as you made this presentation.
Yes, that's correct. So, in South Africa, this is quite a large problem. I think a lot of South Africans know about, all of the detrimental effects that mining has imposed in the past and also in the present. But one of the things that's unknown about this particular issue, acid mine drainage, is that it's very much a global issue. So we tend to focus on it in a number of third world countries, maybe in rural areas, but it affects all countries throughout the world. And I think that's one of the reasons why it was seen as so hard-hitting. The technology that we've come up with is a waste valorization scheme. So we aim to keep this producing clean water for the community, but at the same time, every one of the streams that come out of this treatment scheme is aimed at profit generation or revenue generation. So all of the byproducts of the treatment technology, we're able to derive a value from it. That was the treatment scheme. We used 2 waste products we can source locally in South Africa, and very similar products can be sourced in other areas of the world that are affected similarly by acid mine drainage. These are waste products from the steel industry and waste products from the sugar industry or any food industry, any organic waste. And basically what we do is that, it's called acid mine drainage, so you can imagine it is acidic. We increase the pH, so we get rid of the acidity. We remove the heavy metals in that process using one of the waste products. And then following that, we are able to use the last waste product, which is organic waste, to polish that water to a stream that can be now discharged to the environment, can be used for irrigation, or can be used by the community.
So it's no longer acidic and toxic to communities. How then do you think this project will have an impact on communities such as what we saw in Jagersfontein earlier this year in the Free State, the collapse there, the dam wall collapse, having a ripple effect in terms of the after effects, the impact on the environment and the pollution within that community?
I think one of the things to focus on, number one, definitely, obviously, we have this massive environmental problem that is affecting water, and a lot of people would think, the drinking water, the infrastructure that a country would need to treat this water, etc. But it also has such a huge effect, like you said, on the community, where we need to somehow assign value, whether it's monetary or in some other economic manner, value to what is the value of a community member being able to swim in a lake? What is the value of a community member being able to wash their clothes in water that they get from the environment and not have to fear, acid burns or other types of illness or contamination from that water? So I think that the ripple effect, number one, of the pollution is that we see this type of effect in small rural communities, but it's diluted throughout the country, spreading throughout the aquifers, where people in urban areas also source their water. But on the other hand, if we're able to treat this, we won't only be getting monetary value out of it in terms of potable water or clean water, or like I mentioned, value-derived products from this, but also the value that the community members will have in being able to properly engage with their environment and, use nature as it was intended to be used.
Hydroponic farming is, becoming more and more popular and used for all sorts of reasons in terms of growing crops and other uses. How do you think that your innovation, this groundbreaking innovation, could perhaps help in a project like that for a community?
So another one of the issues arising from mining in South Africa is the use of land that would have otherwise been arable land that could have been used for farming. So this project could also, through the use of the sludge that is produced and also through the use of some of the byproducts, the waste streams of water, those streams can be used for irrigation, and we don't need land if we're going to be using a nutrient-rich stream of water. So we can actually vertical farm on those pieces of land that at the moment have no arable value because they're not able to sustain any plant growth because of the mining activities. So instead of using that soil, we can just use the water and set up vertical farms that will allow the community to now gain crops from there as well as clean water, tackling two of the mining-related issues, the land use and the water pollution.
With winning this prize, how much of a difference do you think you can make with the backing of the prize?
I definitely think it raised so much of awareness. It was very shocking to see how very few people at this international conference was aware of the impact that acid mine drainage has internationally. So I think number one, it would be the awareness. And something interesting was said to me quite recently. I mean, this project is primarily an academic and a social project, and if this information is made public, I mean, the force of just capitalism, knowing that you can derive value from this project, the market will take it, and capitalists will enforce this project throughout the country, hopefully in other countries where they're afflicted by acid mine drainage. And of course they will generate their own revenue, but the benefit for the rest of the country and the benefit for the community members there will be, we're getting a stream of clean water that would have otherwise been heavily polluted and contaminated.
So I ask you the question without asking you what the actual prize is.
So it was mainly recognition, I think.
Yeah.
I got a very nice plaque. Yeah. And I think for me, the prize enough was being in communication with a lot of these world-renowned leaders in multiple science-related fields. In water, I've made quite a few connections in mines throughout the world now, wanting to know if this technology is ready to be implemented, etc. So yeah, I think that was the main prize. There was a small cash prize, but I think that was mainly not for implementation of the project. The main prize there was the recognition, the worldwide recognition.
Absolutely. Impacting survival and sustainability. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for telling us about your fantastic win. Groundbreaking idea launched here, of course, impacting communities and changing lives. Thank you for your time.